well, he has news, because I'm going to get him. So the Esav Yishmael dynamic, right, is very powerful, and they hate each other, but they work together against us. So at the end of Toldot, there's a whole thing there. But what I want right now is the Maharal, and a little midrash. So bear with me, and the idea will be that we have the insight through this to make a difference right now in this room, when we keep Shabbos, when we get up in the morning, when we daven, when we interact with each other, when we treat our kids well, when we love each other, when we know how to truly honor another human being, whether it's Jew or non-Jew. We are defeating the angel prince of Edom and of Yishmael. And it's not that we have anything against them. We're a little different. We don't need to have anything destroyed in order for... We want transformation. We want uplifting. We want elevation. So I really feel that I didn't make this stuff up. I got it. And so if it would be that I made it up, it would be like, I come from California and I'm very nice. I'm cool. I want everybody to be there when Mashiach comes. But that wouldn't be honest on my part. I'd just be making it up and putting my spin on it. Just looking for the Maharal. Why can't I find it? Page 19. We'll need the midrashim.
Sing a song.
I want to sing a song in the meantime. But first of all, just to share with you a little bit of the essence of the midrash. The rabbis are completely out of their mind. Meaning to say they're super rational. Okay. In the beginning, Hashem created the heavens and the earth was tohu v'bo v'chosha al pnei tom. The earth was desolate and turmoil. It's not the only translations, and perhaps not even the best, but for our context, desolate and turmoil, or turmoil and desolate. The earth was in a state of absolute, right? And darkness was on the face of the abyss. And the Spirit of Hashem hovered over the waters. Genesis 1 and 2. So they say, Tohu, desolate, refers to Babylon. Right in the second verse of the Torah, they're already talking about 4 exiles. We haven't even existed yet. They're talking about that the Shvirat HaKelim, that the shattering of the vessels was not just a cosmological act. It was God programming history. And maybe the best way to understand it is Star Wars. You know when Star Wars took place? What epic in world history did Star Wars take place? It was pre-epic. It was not in this epic. In order to understand what is happening in our epic, we had to go back to Darth Vader and those guys back there where good and evil were much more pronounced instead of mixed like they are in our lives. In order to understand the threads that are still working themselves out in our lives, we had to go back to a previous epic. That's what that movie does, basically. And so that's what the Kabbalah does. It says that you can't understand our world unless you understand the levels that came before it. And that's what Kabbalah is about. It tells about the Shvirat HaKelim and what existed before the shattering of the vessels. Well, why did God make a shattering of the vessels? Why did he do this? Like, I write about this in 3 books, and it's a whole long story, but just briefly, in order to create a broken reality. Thanks a lot. In order that we should have free will, and there should be evil, and there should be a drama. He's a dramatist. He's a director of a film. And he wants it to be action-packed. Very good, but it's it's really hard down here. He wants it to be so real, our neshamas, our souls coming into this world, that this is all we know when we're here. It's like a ceiling. There's no way to know. The prophets tell us a little bit, but still most of us are basically, that's all there is this. There's one-way mirrors coming down from above. They know what's going down here, but we don't know what's going on up there. Earth life becomes a little bubble that it's impossible to know anything else outside of a reference point outside of it. And so the sages, and based on the prophetic teachings, give us that reference point. And the Kabbalah goes even... How does Kabbalah do it? It's based on the prophetic teachings. It gives us the bird eye point of view to look down and understand, and then to come into this reality with more of that understanding, that we can operate here as children of the next world, children of the spirit, but within this world. It's a real definition of Yisrael, not just what I just said before with words, but we are children. We are to embody the consciousness of eternity within the fabric and the framework of this lower dimension called the four exiles. And so it gives us a tremendous sense of mission and destiny. When we lose our destiny, when we become disconnected from our destiny, we go down. It's a escalator. If you're not busy being born, you're busy dying. You're busy being asleep. You're busy doing whatever is in the plan. But you can rise up above the plan. That's why my favorite movie in the last year or two is the Adjustment Bureau. It's not as complicated as The Matrix. It's a simple plot, but it's a profound message. The Adjustment Bureau. Anybody see it? You're not moviegoers. Okay, I understand. But it's okay. You can see it. There's certain scenes you got to turn your eyes away if you're a man. But the Adjustment Bureau is a level of angels that they are appointed over human beings and over human history to make sure that people don't do as bad as they would do if they were being adjusted. But there was one guy who saw them, and you're not supposed to see them. In the movie they looked like human beings, but you know how movies are great. You can know that because the plot is telling you this is an angel. So they take him into a place that looks like a warehouse, which is outside of our reality, and they tell him, if you tell anybody we exist, we'll blank your mind. And also, you're not allowed to see that woman anymore. It's not part of the plan. And he says, well, I want to see her. You will not see her. Anyway, he's a little stubborn. So he takes the same bus for 3 years to see her. And he finally sees her. And it's fantastic. They go out long walks. They send another higher angel to make sure that... And this higher angel gives them the whole speech. He tells them what human history is and how human beings are like completely out of it. And they need to be directed by heaven. And that he can't be with her. And he sees that he says, listen, it's not just you can't be with her, it'll be bad for her. He said, whoa, once he hears that, she's a dancer. And her career is, she's about to become the greatest dancer on the planet, right? And he has to become the president. But if they're together, he ruins it for her. And he really takes it seriously because he really loves her. So he's with her one more time, and then he doesn't tell her, but he leaves for 2 years because he doesn't want to hurt. But she feels that he left me, and in those 2 years she's about to get married. One of the angels rebels and says to him, I knew your father, I knew your grandfather, I know who you are. I got to help you.
You can't tell us about the movie, then we can't see it.
I have it here in my...
If you tell us the movie, then we can't see
yeah,
it.
no, that's what people say, but I ruin movies like that. I will transfer this to your computer. Be careful. So yeah, it's really important. It's really important.
Spoiler alert.
Really important. It's the difference between fate and destiny. Are we going to grab onto our destiny, or are we going to just become part of the story? Okay, so this angel helps him to go behind the scenes of reality. It's in New York, and he teaches him how to go. If you turn a doorknob to the right, you can go behind reality, and all the back streets and underground places of New York become like, you can get places real fast. But if you turn left, you get up into the upstairs, and he says, don't ever turn left. You don't have permission. You open a door, like in The Matrix, right? It's like a simple story, based on those little few things in the Matrix. Okay, so he goes and Mamish goes and he gets there in the courthouse and he grabs her before she gets married and he tells her, and she says, "Where are you coming from? Like, why'd you do that to me?" He says, "I'll explain later. They're after us." Because the other angels, and now it's a chase scene. And they end up going up, I'm really jumping the end, into this big building up the stairs. They're being chased by the angels. And they get up to the top of the highest building in New York. And they're overlooking it. And all the angels come out. And they say, that's it. Like, they gave their lives to be together. They turned the doorknob to the left and they went up into the angelic worlds. They're on the top of this building, and the higher angel is telling them now, okay, the game's over. But right then, the guy who is the rebel angel comes up and hands him an envelope. Did I ruin the story so far? No. I did. Okay.
Now we're going to see.
Anyway, so I just forgot to say one thing, that God is called the chairman. He's constantly referred to as the chairman, which is nice because in Ezekiel it's called the man on the throne. Throne man. Anyway, see, he gets handed an envelope, he opens the envelope, and all the angels disappear. And they can stay together. What's in the envelope? Give up. He passed the lower levels, and he hit on the higher level. Wow. That if you really want to do something, and you will give your life for it, you will get it. The power of destiny, the power of touching your highest destiny and not being satisfied with what's been planned for you. That's a fantastic lesson, isn't it? Isn't that nice?
Is that related to Kedusha?
Is it related to what?
Holy Chutzpah.
Chutzpah, holy chutzpah. So the Midrash on the second verse in the Bible tells us about 4 exiles. Like, where are you coming from? Because Hashem set up reality that there will be these 4 exiles, and if we wake up from them, they don't have to happen. But mankind is basically going to go down. Then there's one real interesting one here with Yaakov and the ladder. The first angel goes up, comes down. Second angel goes up, comes down. Third angel goes up, comes down. The fourth angel keeps going up and up and up, and Yaakov starts freaking out. Isn't he going to come down? And Hashem says, don't worry, Jake. I'm going to bring him down. I'm going to bring him down. I'm going to bring him down. So the Maharal says about this. Yaakov was shown the rise and fall of the first 3 empires. He also saw the rise of the 4th empire, but not its fall. The reason for this is that Hashem arranged history such that each of the first 3 would come to their end within the parameters of the physical laws of this world.